Okay, we're ready to work on our background for our painting. And the first thing that you should do is put your name on the back of your paper. So I'm going to do that. Cindy. Okay. Let's see if I can get you guys higher so you can see a little bit more. All right. So we have our big piece of paper, and what we're going to do first, so that we don't get paint all over the furniture while you're at co-op, is we're going to put a dot. Uh-oh, there goes my glue. We're going to put a dot in this corner, a dot in this corner, a dot in this corner, and a dot in this corner. Right? When you've done that, you can come back, restart the video. All right, the next thing we're going to do is draw a line that connects each of these. So one line that goes here, and it's okay if your line isn't perfect, totally fine, but you're going to move your whole arm. Don't just move your hand. Don't just try to do it with your hand. You'll have to stop and it'll look really jagged. If you want a nice smooth line, you're going to pull with your whole arm. And again. And then again. Okay, you should have all four corners done. You can pause the video and come back if you're not ready to move on yet. All right, the next thing we're going to do is divide the paper. We're going to be putting a horizon line up here. So I want my horizon line. I'm going to make some hills. This is a farm field with a barn in it. So we're going to make some curved lines. Yay. Okay, the sky will go up here and the grasslands will go down here. All right, I want you to think about each hill as a separate piece. So we're gonna make a foreground, a middle ground, and a background up here. So I'm gonna make a line that shows where those hills end. All right. Then I'm going to connect some of these lines like this. I'm going to make shapes out of my hills. Okay. Now inside these shapes, you're going to draw patterns. What do you think a good pattern would be? We could make little circles with your permanent marker on one of the hills. You could do wavy lines like this. It could represent grass. Okay, there are many different patterns you could do. I will take a scrap sheet of paper and show you many different patterns, and then you can pick or choose and make your own. So I'm doing this so that you can see. Let's see, we could do a spiral shape on the hills. Just do a bunch of them together. You could do squares. You could do triangles. Just triangles all together or separated. That kind of looks like a bunch of tents, doesn't it? Let's see, what else could we do? We could do something that looks like fireworks. Or flowers. I guess it could look like both. Anyway, you're going to cover whatever section you are doing with the same pattern. Pattern and line are parts of the elements of art, and so is color. We've already talked about color and how to make different colors. Now we're using pattern to make texture in our artwork. Texture is important. It makes art interesting. All right, so you fill in your spots, and I'm gonna stop my video right here and fill in the rest of mine, but you don't need to watch me do that. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, Now that you've done that, we're going to work on painting in our background. All right, so you're going to get a palette of yellow, red, or magenta. I keep saying that wrong. Okay, cyan. And I'm going to put some white in the middle. Actually, I'm going to put 3 dots there. Okay. Now, you see that I have red, yellow, or magenta, cyan, and yellow. Right next to this one, I am going to put some blue. All right. So each color is going to get 2. Each place is going to get 2 colors beside it. So you can have just the magenta, or you can mix it with that to make purple. All right, and then we're going to have this for green, and this one gets magenta. All right, so this will be your orange. This will be your purple. This will be your green, but you can use these colors separately as well. All right, so you're going to need a big brush for the first part of this, and then a smaller brush for the second part. So I'm going to use my big brush, and I'm going to be making my sky. Okay, so you can choose to make your sky blue, or you can choose to make your sky a sunset. You can paint it whatever color you want, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do mine. So I'm going to make mine a sunset. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that my brush is clean. We don't want any other colors on there. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to get a lot of yellow. My brush is angled. Your brush might be flat. That's okay. I'm going to get a lot of yellow on the back of my brush. And then I'm going to dip it in this color in the front of my brush. And then I'm going to pick a spot on here where I want my sun to be. I think I want my sun to be right here. So I'm going to put it carefully down right on that line. And then I'm going to twist with my fingers. Wouldn't that be an interesting way to do your whole sky? I think that would be really cool. You could. It looks like a rainbow sun. So now I'm going to get more yellow on here and I'm going to blend it so it doesn't look like a rainbow. But you could leave it a rainbow if you want to. Okay. I like that. I think it looks beautiful. Wow, it looks like my sun is on fire. And guess what? The sun is on fire. Okay, I'll pull it out all the way. I'm being really careful to stay above that line because we don't want the sky to touch, to go into the fields. Okay, now I'm gonna just blend colors. I'm gonna start with magenta over here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to remember to move my paper so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just blending carefully, blending all the color, blending the colors I want in my sky. I think I might add a little bit of white. It could look like a fluffy cloud. You take your time, don't rush. Go right up to the line on the edge. Now it looks like I have 2 suns. I don't want 2 suns, so I'm going to make sure that that becomes orange. And a little bit darker maybe. I might even put some blue on the edges so that it looks like the further you get away from the sun, the darker the sky gets. Okay, a little bit of blue and a little bit more magenta. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty. You have to, if you're gonna put purple in the sky and you've already used yellow, you have to be careful or you'll make brown, remember? So just be careful not to get it too close to the yellow. And if you do get it too close to the yellow, make sure that you put more magenta on top of that. Okay, that looks beautiful. Okay, and you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, I'm accidentally going over a little bit of the line. That's okay. I just don't want it on the table. Okay, I'm getting too close to that yellow. So I'm going to rinse my brush. Whoops, I'm going to rinse my brush off. I'm going to wipe it off clean. I'm going to get more magenta. And I'm going to blend it in here. So now if I get too close to the yellow, I mostly have magenta on my brush. I'm going to wipe my brush again. I'm going to get more magenta. We're blending our colors right on the paper. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love my sky. Okay, I'm going to wipe my brush again, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to mix in some colors here. Going around my sun. I really like that sun. That's beautiful. There'll be parts of your painting that you really like, and there'll probably be parts that you don't like so much. That happens to everybody, even people who do art for a long time. All right, I am finished. Now it's your turn to make your sky. Okay, now we're going to do this part right here. We're going to leave this part alone for a few minutes. We're going to do the bottom. So I want a nice greenish yellow on the bottom of mine. So I'm going to use a lot of yellow and a little bit of blue to get it that color. Kind of like, you know, the end of summer. It's not as green as it used to be because it's not getting as much sun. And I'm just going to cover this with lots of greenish yellow. It's okay if you have darker patches of green. And if you really don't want to do green and you want to do another color, go ahead. So we're going to paint this across the picture. That's a little dark. I don't really want it that dark. Oh no, I don't like Star Wars. Maybe you like it. That's fine if you do. But my husband watched it last night, so now I have the song stuck in my head. Ugh. Okay. A little bit more. I'm getting to the corner. I don't know if you can see me painting or if I'm just painting off the camera. But we'll move it up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm almost done. Whoop. Well, it just took the paper right out of my hand. Okay, getting to that corner. All right,